Alright, this is part 2, section 2, this is part 1, section 2 of Nietzsche's book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, and previously we had the 3 metamorphoses, and now we have Only Teachers of Virtue, and this one is short, and just like the other one was. However, this is kind of not not entirely as easy to pin down what he's kind of talking about here, because it's not entirely entirely known what he's entirely talking about. You know, it's not that easy to understand what he means by sleep. I mean, when you hear the title in the Teachers of Virtue, you think it's going to be about a certain thing, but it really is not entirely about that. So he says, honor sleep and be bashful before it. That first of all, and avoid all who sleep badly and stay awake at night. Even if the thief is bashful before sleep, he always steals silently through the night. Shameless, however, is the watchman of the night. Shamelessly he carries his horn. Sleeping is no mean art. For its sake one must stay awake. One must stay awake all day. 10 times a day you must overcome yourself. That makes you good and tired, and is the opium for the soul. So, virtue is in a way being related to peace. Sleep and peace are kind of close to the same thing. He doesn't really use the word peace, but sleep is what he uses. Is the word sleep, and sleeping well and being peaceful and sleeping in the correct way, I guess, is connected to being virtuous in a certain way. And it's kind of like how he says how a person who sleeps at night and stays awake all day has good intentions and is more virtuous than someone who sleeps during the day and stays up at night, like a thief who stays awake at night and steals stuff. So, few know it, but one must have all the virtues to sleep well. Shall I bear false witness? Shall I commit adultery? Shall I covet my neighbor's maid? All that would go ill with good sleep. So, doing bad things and choosing to not be virtuous is contradictory with sleeping well and being peaceful to an extent. So, it's kind of like sleeping well is a goal that we have in our life, but he's kind of almost dancing around the fact that there's no entire true meaning there. I mean, that sleeping well is a kind of goal that we have, but he's kind of dancing around there being no inherent meaning in life. Thus passes the day of the virtuous, and when night comes, I guard well against calling sleep. For sleep, who is the master of the virtues, does not want to be called. Instead, I think about what I have done and thought about during the day. Chewing the cud, I ask myself, patient as a cow, well, what were your 10 overcomings, and what were your 10 reconciliations, and the 10 truths, and the 10 laughters with which your heart edified itself? Weighing such matters, and rocked by 40 thoughts, I am suddenly overcome by sleep, the uncalled, the master of the virtues. There is magic even in his chair, and it is not in vain that the youth sit before this preacher of virtue. His wisdom is to wake in order to sleep well. Now I understand clearly what was once sought above all when the teachers of virtue were sought. Good sleep was sought, and opiate virtues for it. Blessed are the sleeping ones, for they shall soon drop off. Thus spoke Zarathustra. So you're not going to get a clear idea of what's going on here, are you? No, you aren't. But the main things that I think should be discussed here is that he's sort of dancing around a possible meaning when he doesn't really see there to be a inherent one, since a lot of what Zarathustra is saying is there to be no true truth or true meaning that we should seek after in our life. And in the prologue and in the three metamorphoses before this, he talks about how we should give value and meaning to our life by ourselves and be a creator rather than acknowledging a created. So in this section he's kind of dancing around a possible meaning of our life while still acknowledging that virtue, being virtuous and sleeping well are very well connected, because someone who overcomes sleep and overcomes things during the day and stays awake all day and sleeps at night is more akin to a virtuous person than someone who stays awake all night, who is more akin to a thief. So that's kind of what I'm thinking that this is. If you think that there is something more that should be discussed about this little tiny section, then please tell me below, because I'd love to discuss with you. And if you have any kind of comments you want to discuss, definitely comment below, because whenever you comment, I get an email. If your comment is constructive, then I always respond. So, and then next I'll be doing the section 3, which is on the afterworldly. Thank you.